Hey everyone, and welcome to the second segment on home buying in the Bay Area. Yesterday, I gave a quick overview of what we're going to talk about over the course of these. I've divided up into like 11 or 12 segments. But today, I'm going to deep dive into the pre-approval process and talk about the importance of doing that in San Francisco, the Bay Area, for your having a competitive offer. First, for people that haven't bought a house before, there are all different terms for being pre-approved. And when I talk to buyers, there's really three different levels of being pre-approved, and I'm going to go through each one of those and what that means and how that makes your offer more or less competitive. So I'm going to go through a pre-qualification, a pre-approval, and then an underwritten pre-approval, and talk about each one of those. First is a pre-qualification. A pre-qualification is pretty much just a phone call with the lender. It takes about 10-20 minutes. You talk about your financial situation, your savings, your income, and right over the phone, the lender can tell you that, hey, yes, you're pre-qualified for purchasing this amount of money and getting this amount of loan for your purchase. When it comes to putting in an offer in the Bay Area, that is not very significant. Other places in the country, that may be all you need, but here you need to go a lot deeper to make your offer as competitive as possible. So we don't really recommend doing just this step. If you have found the property of your dreams and you need to put in an offer today or tomorrow, a pre-qualification is all you might be able to do. But if you have time, and we all have time on our hands right now, then I recommend going to the next step. The next step is being pre-approved by a lender. Now, pre-approved means that you've actually gone with a lender, have filled out an application, which is generally 3 to 5 pages. You've provided all your financial documentation, and that documentation is anywhere from all your tax documents, all your income statements, your bank statements, pay stubs, photo ID, and you've given all that over to your lender. Those documents can take about a week to 2 weeks to process, and then if you're really in a rush, they can be done in 2 or 3 days. But then the lender will come back and say that you have been pre-approved for this loan. For most people, that is where it ends. Most everywhere in the country, that's the furthest you have to go in order to be pre-approved, and that gives you pretty competitive. And if you have a normal 9 to 5 salary job, it's also a pretty good place to be, where you can feel confident that if you put in an offer, you might even be able to waive your finance contingency to make your offer more competitive. And we'll get to the finance contingency on a further segment. But here, specifically in San Francisco and the Bay Area, we even take it one step further. This exists almost nowhere else in the country, outside of maybe LA, New York, or other very competitive marketplaces. And that's having an underwritten pre-approval. Now, if you've gone through the process before, you might understand what an underwriter is. But the underwriter is really the next process from your lender. So your lender will be the one that you talk to, the one you interact with, but they will not be the one that's actually processing your loan. The underwriter processes the loan, and they will go through all the documentation that you have with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that it is that everything is correct, all your T's are crossed, I's dotted, and they will ask for a significant amount more of documentation. We joke that they'll ask for your blood type, you'll do your 23andMe swab for them, your firstborn kid, but they'll come back with you with a bullet point list of 20 to 30 documents further to make sure that they have a full, complete picture of your financial situation. Pretty much anywhere else in the country, that happens after you've gotten into the contract. So you put in your offer, you've gotten accepted, and you're starting the loan process. Because San Francisco and Bay Area is competitive, then a lot of lenders 5-6 years ago started doing this ahead of time and offering that as a way of making their loans more competitive against other lenders. So we highly recommend you doing that if you're going to be putting in offers around here. With that, though, you really need to pick your horse, because you don't want to do that with multiple lenders. So you should be doing all your due diligence up front, talking to different lenders, getting the competitive rates, and choosing the one that you want to work with. With that lender, you then go through the pre-approval process and then go through the underwriting process. Not every lender does that, so you do need to, and we know which ones do, but you do need to talk to them ahead of time and make sure that they can underwrite your loan before going into contract. Most lenders in the Bay Area do a 25 to 30 day close. The big perk of being underwritten is that because they do all this legwork up front, they get that 25 to 30 day close, and they shorten that down to, with one lender that we work with generally, is down to 12 to 14 days on a single family home, maybe a little bit longer with a condo because of the HOA association documents, but most lenders can get that down to 15 to 18 days. When you're competing against an all cash offers can close in as little as 7 days to 10 days normally. So that is what we're trying to get our clients to be competitive against. So getting that down to a 12-day close, 14-day close is highly significant, both against all cash offers and against other loan lenders, other clients, buyers who are offering on a property that may have a longer close. So that also takes about 2 weeks. So once again, during this slow period, if you're looking at purchasing after the shelter in place is lifted, doing this 2 to 3 week process ahead of time, it puts you in a much strong position after the shelter in place is lifted. Now, I think that is everything I wanted to talk about for today's segment. But if you have any questions about being pre-approved, let me know. We have a whole slew of lenders that we can recommend. We personally recommend different lenders from the big banks, the little banks, and then the mortgage brokers. Generally, it's the mortgage brokers that really do a lot of this underwriting up front, or that they have some of their own loan products. And they're the ones that can get down to 12, 14, 15 days. So private message me if you want to get more information, and I'll be coming back tomorrow to talk about going through open houses and how to act in an open house, and why how you interact with the listing agent at the property is important. So thank you all, and I hope you're all doing well.